So yesterday I did a bunch of videos talking about differing things Donald Trump said in press conferences in the Oval Office. Well, when I did those videos, I didn't realize he had held three separate press conferences in the Oval Office in one day. That's typically uncalled for. He kept calling the press back in. He would do another round of talking about whatever he was talking about, and then he'd be done. They'd send him out, and a while later he'd bring him back in. Now, is that the dementia talking? Does he not remember that he held a press conference earlier that day? He talked about a bunch of other subjects. I don't know. It's unusual for the president to do three separate press events in the Oval Office on the same day on multiple topics like that, especially when they're unplanned. It would just seem to be spur of the moment. And of course, his aides aren't going to come out and say anything negative about Donald Trump, or they're not going to explain that. They're just going to ignore it and act like this is business as usual. It's not. Donald Trump called the media in three different times to talk about varying different topics. And it just showed that he's got health issues going on, that he maybe didn't remember talking to him the first or the second time by the time the third time came around. Now, was this just him saying, "Oh, I got to talk to the press. This is great. I want to tell them this." And he brings him in and says whatever he's going to say, talks to him for half hour, 45 minutes, whatever time it was, and then kicks him out. And he's sitting there thinking, and something else pops in his head and he wants to get it out there. I don't know. Could be. Donald Trump is clearly suffering some mental issues. You listen to the way he talks. He doesn't really complete sentences anymore. It's all stream of consciousness. He can be talking about one thing, throw two sentences in about something else, and come back to what he was talking about originally. And he thinks he makes perfect sense. And that part in the middle doesn't add up anywhere. Donald Trump is suffering from a lot of health conditions, and ultimately something is going to happen, whether that is he ultimately isn't around anymore, or it gets bad enough that J.D. Vance has to step in, use the 25th Amendment, and remove him. I think one of those two outcomes is going to happen. I don't think Donald Trump resigns on his own. His ego won't let him. That's just not something a narcissist like him can accept, that he is frail. He wants you to believe he's in the peak of his physical health, even though they have told us that he has this vein condition and he has the bruising on his hands that they claim is from rigorous handshaking, but most people think it's from something else. If they're willing to admit that much about his health, what else is going on? And him holding multiple press conferences is just another sign that there is something deeper going on here.